Jeannie, thank you for joining us.
No problem.
I am recording this, I hope you don't mind.
No problem.
And let's review the name. Jeannie, Jeannie.
Yeah, Jeannie.
And then Stigall, Stigall. Excellent. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and discuss the fact that you're finally graduating.
Yes.
Fifth year here at Ball State, started in 2007.
That's correct.
And you're getting ready to leave. So to those incoming freshmen, would you advise going to Ball State?
Yes.
And why? What's so special about this university when it comes to news journalism?
Well, what's special about this program is the fact that there's so many different mediums that you can get yourself involved in. And there's print, and that involves newspaper and magazines. We have our broadcasting system, which is a great program. It is TV, which is, we have like NewsLink Indiana, which is a student-run program. We also have WCRD News, and that is also a student-run organization.
Well, I mean, you know, discussing how WCRD, NewsLink, there's lots of news mediums here at the university, and you've been busy in a couple of them. We're here in your NewsLink studios, where you are a production manager. You've also been a part of the news team at WCRD for 2 years. So what experiences did you get in those student medias that were not taught in a classroom?
Time management, for sure. Also, communication. Communication's key when you're in these organizations. If you don't have communications between your directors and your producers and your reporters, then you're not going to have a good show, plain and simple. That's just how it is. And that's how it is in the real world, too. I mean, you need to keep in contact with your producers or your directors of what's going on. So that way, if something was to go wrong, and they can't get, like, say, a live shot in because the camera's not working, it's taking 15, 20 minutes to get camera working, you got to be able to communicate efficiently that we need more time.
Well, you know, speaking of time management, you're somebody who this semester has had a lot going on. Not only are you a graduating senior and you're trying to tie all of those loose ends, but you also were interning at IPR. Started January 9th, and April 29th is the date that you're leaving. So that's coming to a close. Jeannie, would you recommend going to IPR as an intern, and why?
If radio is your medium, then I would say yes. And the reason why I would say yes is because by being in IPR, it's very professional, and you've got to be on your toes. And that's something that is different from being in the classroom. By being in the classroom, you could ask your professor for more time if you need to. IPR, it's very, I need this deadline. You've got to meet this deadline. You got to get it in, or else your stuff will not be played. Plain and simple. I mean, in classrooms, you'll be able to play them. You'll be able to have them, your teacher or your classmates, listen to them whenever you're presenting or whenever your teacher calls for it. However, in IPR, either you have that in or you don't. And if you don't have it in, it just doesn't get played.
Absolutely. And do you feel as if the skills you learned at Indiana Public Radio are going to support you when you're on the job market and when you're practicing in the field once you do have a job?
I believe so. And the reason why I believe so is because I feel like this has taught me that by knowing when your deadline is, or by editing a few tweaks and here's with your sound bites or with your lead-ins, it's going to enable you to be more prepared for when the actual job comes. And that's what internships are meant to do. They're meant to prepare you for when you have a real job, you'll be able to be more than just starting out. You'll be advanced. And that's where the job market is looking for, advanced people in their field. They don't want a low-level trainer where they have to train you up. They want somebody who's ready to go when the time comes.
So do you feel that those immersive opportunities have helped you and assisted you in preparing for the job market? Because, I mean, it's one thing to sit in a class and take a test over the material that you're learning, but it's a whole other thing to actually apply it. And so do you think you're ahead of the game when it comes to searching for a job because of your experience at IPR, NewsLink, and WCRD?
Yes and no.
And why the mixed reaction there?
I feel like some of the classes could have been better. They could have been more efficient when it comes to training and learning the equipment at an earlier time rather than doing it in the 300, 400 levels. I say yes because by having the early opportunity to get into these organizations that I'm in, I've been able to get ahead of the game to where people wait until their junior and senior year to actually join. And they're just learning while I'm already knowing what I'm doing. And people are looking for experience. That's what they're looking for. They're looking to see if you have training and that you've already applied yourself and that you're committed to what you're doing.
Well, you've certainly had a busy 5 years here at Ball State University, and they're coming to a close, which I'm sure is not an easy thing to accept, but time to move on, I suppose. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up here?
Freshmen need to start early, plain and simple, and they need to be able to take criticism well, and they need to not think that everything is personal. It's not. And that's something at the job here that I've learned, is that people take things too personally, and it's not that. It's just when time crunch is ticking, we need to work together rather than come apart. And that's something that incoming freshmen need to do early ahead. So in that way, when they're in their senior year or their junior year and they're looking for a job, they will be able to be ready for that opportunity to happen.
Well, it sounds like you're ready. Jeannie, thank you very much.
No problem.
Appreciate your time.
No